Our starting point for this walk is the picturesque village green of Mottistone, with the church on one side and the manor house on the other, and a few houses scattered along the road. Mottistone is one of the smaller island villages. Nestling in a hollow at the foot of the Mottistone Down, the manor house has had a checkered history. Built in the 16th century, it is part Tudor, part medieval and part Elizabethan. 300 years ago, it was buried under a landslide of 1,500 tons of sand and fell into decay and ruins. But in the 1800s, it was purchased by the Seeley family, who undertook massive restoration of the house. These beautiful gardens were led in the 1970s and are owned and maintained by the National Trust. Now, the house is unfortunately rarely open to the public, but garden can be visited 2 or 3 times a week during the summer season. Across the green is a footpath we shall be taking to the top of the down, and your grid reference will be SZ 405838. The path runs along the boundary of the manor house. Now, as you can see, due to thousands of years of use, the sandy soil has formed a hollow and glimpses of the garden are few. We are now reaching a fork on a footpath. We are going to take right, and there is a sign here actually saying footpath to the Longstone and the Downs. Wow! Look at that! This is possibly the oldest monument on the island, at least 5,000 years old. Just think for a minute. This is at least a couple of hundred years before the buildings of the pyramids, and at least 2,000 years old before the reign of Tutankhamun. Pitted and eroded like a block of ancient timber, it is known locally as the Longstone, but in the past years was known as the Mottistone, supposedly giving its name to the village. There are many theories of its origins and purpose. A pagan burial site, a place where Druids worship, to name just a couple. This stone now looks like an altar, and of course, rumors abound of sacrifices and rite of passage. It is said if this stone was originally upright, the rays of the rising sun in mid-winter's day would shine between these stones. Let us continue our walk across the Mottistone Down through the Forestry Commission plantation. If you had walked this path before the 1930s, it was all covered in native oak trees. This is a never-changing landscape. Absolutely beautiful. Now that is what I particularly like about this particular walk. It's also this magnificent view over the channel there. It's absolutely breathtaking. And just right in front of me, you've got the beautiful coast of the Isle of Wight. Now, as we discover this amazing coast of this beautiful island, we are going to be left on a tiny wee path down the hill there. We are now ending our walk through this beautiful, beautiful field of heather. Unfortunately, the weather starts to change a little bit. It's getting a bit more cloudy. Does it matter? Not at all. The scenery, the beauty of this walk is there. Gorgeous. Let's carry on to walk to the end of this path, and at the end of it, just turn left, and that will bring us down to the car park.